Hey, it's Erin. I'm here at Tallgrass Film Festival, and I'm here with the amazing couple who made the film Just Eat It, which is one of the stars at Tallgrass Film Festival. Uh, and uh, Grant and Jen have their lovely little boy here.
This is Arlo.
This is Arlo. Hi, Arlo. Hi.
Say hi. Okay, close enough.
Is he? So it sounds to me like he's been a little bit of the film process for you. Yeah?
Yeah, we actually, Jen's water broke right after we hit render on the movie. So it was like, oh, we finished the movie and next project.
The film, Just Eat It, has been receiving some pretty positive feedback so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was one of those films that came out at the right time. Everyone was starting to shift the food conversation from just being about organic or GMOs to, hey, we're throwing half of our food away. Maybe we should talk about that. So it was just good timing that for us, I think, to release a film about the issue, and it's just kind of taken off, which has been amazing. We're the kind of like the Morgan Spurlock story thread of us trying to live off discarded food, and then we look at the big issue outside of that too. So we do travel around and interview
So there's like
farmers.
two stories within your documentary.
Kind of is like there's like the main thread of our 6 months, and you get to see our trials and tribulations, and then you also get to meet, farmers and wholesalers and all these people that are like chucking out all this food, and get to figure out why and where it's going.
So this is a topic that has been coming up in recent years in America because America's pretty bad at this, right?
Well,
Like, we
actually,
throw away
it's
a lot of food.
North America, like Canada's just as bad. Northern Europe's just as bad. We're all throwing away about 40% of the food we produce.
40%.
Yeah, so
That's huge.
Based on calorie counting, it looks like we're producing about 200% of the food that we need.
200%.
Yeah.
So this isn't like the feed the world image that we had in the 90s where people are starving and we need to share
Right.
the food. We're actually just throwing away the food that we're producing.
Yeah, I mean, people are, of course, hungry.
But we're not doing anything to help
One in
that.
6 Americans don't get enough to eat, and yet we throw away that much food. So there's definitely a disconnect, and that's what this movement's about. It's about fixing that so that people can get that food.
So is that your hope that someday, instead of throwing away all of this food, we'll still continue to make enough food to support everyone who could use it?
I mean, people always talk about, the population's growing, we need to grow more food. We already grow tons of food. We're good. It's important to have some surplus, but not in the excesses that we have, right? So I think it's about land conservation. If you think about California and the drought, instead of, growing that much food in California in the desert and needing that much water, maybe we could reduce the amount of food we grow. But at the same time, it's about personal choices too. Like, I would like not wasting food to be as important as, the smoking. Like, so if I lit a cigarette in a restaurant right now, everyone would be like, "What are you doing? That's like get out of here. You can't smoke in this restaurant, and my children are here and all that stuff." But if someone's wasting food in a restaurant, no one even bats an eye, and that's the culture shift that we're hoping will change. People will be like, "Hey, don't waste food."
Now, in the film, do you talk about why you decided to take 6 whole entire months? Like, where did you get the number 6 months?
I know.
Why did you
I mean,
decide to do
originally,
this?
it was the tough thing was to, like, I really wanted to do this. I'm always game for some challenge, but Jen was not keen, like, on quitting grocery shopping. Like, where do you start? So she agreed to actually doing a month in the beginning, and then we just extended it because we ended up finding so much food that it was more of an issue of dealing with the amount of food in our house and where to store it. We had food stored under the bed, and in the spare room we had food stored in the bathroom cupboards, cases of food, because we find out where they threw it out, right? So
Yeah.
then people grocery shopped at our house, and so we could have done it indefinitely. Like,
So you gave away this food.
yeah, we were giving it away to friends. We tried to donate it, but the rule is if it's already been in a dumpster, then you cannot donate it. But if that place had just directly donated from the pallet, instead of throwing the whole pallet away, someone would have taken it.
It's almost like there's this magical quality of putting something inside of a garbage
Yeah, I mean, it
receptacle.
makes sense. I mean, people shouldn't be eating out of dumpsters.
For
right?
sure. But if there's nothing else in it, and if all of the food is packaged
Oh, yeah, it
properly,
was totally safe.
if
Like,
you
we didn't get sick
set
or-
it inside and then
Yes.
pull it out 10 seconds later, it doesn't seem like it should be
Yeah.
contaminated in any
Things
way.
were still cold that we were pulling out. I like frozen Alaskan cod fillets, a big case of it that was probably destined for a restaurant and maybe canceled an order or something. Still frozen solid, so I mean, that's obviously still safe. So I didn't get food poisoning or anything.
The whole time?
No.
That's pretty incredible.
But the kicker is, after the project ended, we went to we were invited to this really nice resort. It's like 5-star, and I got food poisoning there.
Oh.
So there you go.
Wow.
The irony.
One of the things that one of our Project Nerd writers said when they left the movie is they were so pumped, and they said, I want to go dig in a dumpster and find food. I
Right.
want to stop buying food. And they were pumped about it. And he's like, but I don't want to dig in a dumpster.
Yeah, the stigma. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why Jen was so reluctant
Yeah.
to do it, because of the stigma. I mean, when we started the film, she was still working at her office, and she's like, "Where's the office power suit amongst everyone?" And like, there's stigma there, and she didn't want anyone to know what she was doing.
Yeah. Because this
Until-
is what hobos do.
Until like, the word kind of got out what we were working on, and then all our coworkers were like, "Oh, do you got any more of that chocolate you found there?"
So they became
Yeah, they were totally
became
supportive.
because you were doing it
Yeah.
for a film. But what about people who are not making a film, who decide that they want to live a freegan lifestyle,
Yeah.
where they're living for basically nothing?
Yeah.
Do you think that someday there will be a place for that in America, where people are
I hope
supporting
that isn't the case ever, because I was never supportive of the food getting it free is the motive. I think that's the wrong motive. The point is to show that the food is still good. That's
Exactly.
I think the original freegan message is that we're proving that we're being wasteful, not
Yes.
that we're trying to get free stuff. So I don't know why they call it freegan. They should actually change the name to something else.
Okay, so you wouldn't
Well, I
necessarily.
don't know, because we actually tried to buy the food that was being tossed from grocery stores that was close date. They pull it off 3 days before the date, and we were trying to buy it, and they wouldn't sell it to us. So we resorted to dumpster diving because we couldn't actually buy it. We really wanted to make that clear that we don't see dumpster diving as like a solution to food waste. We're trying to get that food to the people that need it before it hits the bin. That's the real goal. But by all means, go ahead. Jump in a dumpster, try it out, see what you find, and share it with friends and family, because it really changes minds about it. When you can taste the food and see that it's good, and you can see it, it really makes people go, "Oh man, I can't believe they're throwing this out. This is terrible. Next time I'm in the grocery store, I'm going to ask them why you're not donating." That's the kind of pressure we need from like the
And
grassroots.
Don't you think that, especially if somebody were to try going into a dumpster and seeing what is available, it might make them think twice about what they themselves are throwing away?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't believe the stuff that gets tossed. One night, I remember we were pulling out a bunch of nice organic, like vegetables, like expensive vegetables. And in the dumpster beside all the vegetables was a cookbook still sealed in plastic. I'm like, oh, here's the food and here's the instructions. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I mean, definitely, I think there's movements now where people are building homes and like furnishing their homes completely from stuff that's trashed. I don't know how we got to this disposable culture, but it's getting out of control for sure. The shift now is trying to get people talking about food waste on a bigger scale, and it's happening. I mean, John Oliver did a 25-minute food waste segment on his show. He used tons of clips from our movie. We were like blown away, and he nailed it. He did such a good job. Tyra Banks even started talking about food waste, and the Dr. Oz show. So these are demographics that usually don't think of like environmental things, especially daytime TV people. So to see that them talking about food waste in those places too, I think is super important to get that cultural shift happening.
I'm so excited to have been able to talk to you. You can look for the review for Just Eat It on Project Nerd coming up soon if it's not already available. And hopefully you get a chance to watch this film. It sounds like you're doing some incredible work to help make the world a better place. And I just wish you the best of luck.
Thanks. Great interview.